Preparing the live stream, setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. I have a hard stop at like 4:15.
Okay. I have a hard stop at 4:13, so.
All right, are we live?
We are. Hey, guess what I saw that made me happy?
What?
You may have already seen this. I saw the two shorts, the reels that are going to be dropped for our other podcasts in our issues for our
Yeah,
podcast issues. And they're really good. Have you seen them? The one on boundaries and the one on boundaries.
the 15 on boundaries. I didn't want to go through all of them.
Uh, the last two are good. Here's why. One of them is all about me, and one of them is all about you.
Yay! I love that.
Me too.
Ugh, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, I'll check those out for sure. I think that I've looked at them before. I think me and Nathan, last time he was in, have talked about them. I don't remember, but yeah,
Okay. Last time he was in was today, so you're a liar.
he was there today.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And yesterday. Was I there yesterday? No,
He was
Friday.
he was there Tuesday as well, or I
Yeah,
think Monday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, cool.
I
Yeah, I've
know.
been out all week. I've been not doing good.
How come? I'm sorry. What happened?
Just my mental health's in the toilet. You know the vibes.
I do.
We all do. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, you mistyped something in your search bar. Sorry.
But we're glad you're here.
Yeah, right. Are we? No, I mean, we're
What do we
accommodated.
just want? Do we just want nobody to ever watch us? Do we just want to like
Right.
talk into the void?
I was thinking about telling this story about something that happened today. And it's a friend of mine, happened with a friend of mine, and you know this person. She never listens to our podcast and she never will. So
Okay,
I'm
great.
safe in telling it.
Feels really good for me and my ego, but all right.
Oh no, not I didn't say she won't listen to it because she hates your guts.
That's
She
what
hates,
I
she,
said.
oh, you're breaking up.
It's because I yelled too much.
Never yell too much. Well, I mean, uh, well, I don't know. I can't speak from the kidnappee standpoint, but as a kidnapper, that shit gets old really fast. I would
So
imagine.
what's the story you wanted to tell?
I
Or
can't
you're
tell it's
thinking
really.
or are you thinking about telling or you don't want to tell
I
it?
do, I do want to, but it's really dirty, and I'm.
Probably not the appropriate audience then. Tell me off
Oh,
camera.
it's not like bad like that. I wouldn't use bad words and stuff.
Oh.
Um, I played pickleball this morning, and I played with my friend Andrea, who's a woman. And I don't know, you don't do this yet, I hope, but
Yeah,
yeah,
meaning I will.
yes, you're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
when you don't want to pee. You're gonna squirt pee when you laugh. Probably when you jump. When someone startles you, you're probably gonna pee a little.
I think that's only if you have a kid, and I don't plan on doing that ever. So,
Okay, well, I thought it was when you get old. I don't know. I don't have that stuff. Uh, but I visited that stuff and I like, like that stuff. But I don't have that stuff. Um, so we're playing and we're 3-0 and we're down 8-7 and we're playing a 9 to these people that she wanted to beat because the lady's just a bitch. And so and I'm like, why are we not just crushing them? Because Andrea's missing all this stuff. And so we're down, and then we get to serve, and I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna win it. But she hits like these three balls right into the net in a hurry. And after the game, she's like, I'm so sorry. I had to pee really, really bad from like the third point. And every time I hit the ball, which our ground strokes are pretty hard, every time I hit the ball, some pee would come out. So I just wanted to get it over as fast as I could. I said, that explains why it's so slippery over here. So we're 3-1, but the one has an asterisk because it wasn't a real game because we would have won. She didn't have to pee.
that's awesome. I love that. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Um, I used to try to make my friend Katie pee. because she couldn't help it when she laughed. She'd be like, "Stop, stop, stop it." Oh shit! I dropped my almond.
You know what we
Oh,
should talk about today?
what?
Shame.
The song by the Foo Fighters?
Should we get it? No, I want to talk about the other day on Tuesday when I came into work when it was supposed to be my work from home day, which is fine. I had no problem doing it. We were really short staffed. So I came in and I basically worked the front desk all day. And you laughing.
A really inappropriate joke. I have to write it down.
Okay. He's like, before I forget.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, we're a little we're a little short staffed today. Okay,
I
what
think I
happened?
understand where this joke is going, but anyways. Uh, um, I picked up the phone. I said, "Hello, place of
Oh, work?
place of employment where we work. This is Amanda speaking. How can I help you?" And the guy said, "Yeah, is Ashley Miller there?" And this is exactly what I said. I said, there was like, I'm not kidding you, 5 minutes of silence of me going, um, uh, um, trying to figure out like how to work my brain.
Yeah,
One and two, what do I say to this guy? And I was just like, and then finally, like 5 minutes later, I'm like, she passed away. And then he was like, oh crap.
I love that story. I want to talk more about it, but I love it because of the way it ended, because she would love that.
He said, oh crap, is there an office manager there or someone I could talk to? I said, we don't have office managers here. He said, all right, have a good day. Click.
Some 25-year-old kid cold calling and he hates it. Oh crap. Yeah, but this one's why did you have a problem on the phone? Why did you not just immediately blurt out?
It just was so unexpected. I was having a really hard day anyways. We had like three back-to-back walk-ins of people wanting to learn about us and sign up and all that kind of stuff. So I was just like, zoom, 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 zoom in work mode. And then like that happened, and then my brain automatically just shut off. And I just went away because I couldn't deal with it in that moment. I just completely dissociated. Um, and it was the one of the more difficult episodes of dissociation that I've had recently, where like my brain just shut off and went away, and it it took me a little bit to reaccess it and to be able to think again.
Man. Um, we don't know, but do you think that happened because you haven't thought it through yet?
Oh,
Is
110% it happened because I've not dealt with it. It's too, when you dissociate, at least for me specifically, I don't want to say when you is for everybody, but for me, when I dissociate, a lot of times it's because my brain and body doesn't feel safe in that moment, or it's too big, it's too heavy for me to really deal with. So then I just go away. So we know that in that situation, that was just too big and too heavy of a situation to deal with. So
yeah.
I just said, bye bye.
We were talking this morning on the way to or from, me and Andrea, and I was telling her a story about Ashley, and um, somehow I had to say after she died, and it took me a long time to say she died, and I still don't say it every time I talk about it. I'll say she left, or
I mean, I think that's the first time I've ever said it out loud.
that's what I was going to ask. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I think that's honestly the first time I've really said it out loud in those words.
it's a weird thing because I knew I had to at some point, and the fact is the fact, but it's like a barrier I didn't want to cross in my head, you know. No, but that helped me get back to fucking work, which I did Tuesday when you got that phone call. Um, I mean, I had checked out for since last February. Happy birthday.
Right? God, I now every birthday I have is just going to be so bittersweet.
All right, so my friend Melissa works at a behavioral health hospital. We'll get back to that. but I have to tell you the story real quick. Guy comes in. This is mental illness. She's doing the history. Mom, she passed away. Oh, I'm sorry. When she passed away on Thanksgiving Day. Oh, I'm sorry. But natural causes. Okay. Uh, well, her house burned down on Thanksgiving Day, but she died of natural causes. And then his dad passed away on Christmas Day, this Christmas. So, which both were totally not true. Um,
Oh,
Melissa's comment was, "The holidays are going to suck for you. It was your mom on Thanksgiving, your dad on Christmas." That's I don't know if you and I had this conversation, but it took me 5 months, maybe six, to learn when I was working in this field that not only can you not believe 100% of everything that comes out of people's mouths, you better fact check pretty much everything. I mean,
yeah.
I believed everything. I have met the most amazing, famous people with the best friends, and and the greatest stories.
Yeah, it's like it's very complicated because you see some of these people who are like famous or were once famous and are just like talking about things very, you know, very textbook. Obviously, they're having a mental health crisis. And everybody's making a joke out of it, putting them on their podcasts, making them into viral clips, things like that. Like
I do not
it's
know
just
what you're talking about.
yeah, it's just like I mean, I see it all the time, like it's something that's been happening a lot lately of going viral of people just, who I forget the dude's name, but he was basically talking about all of this stuff, how he helped Nelly write this song, he was a co-writer on it and like all this kind of stuff. And he used to be a famous artist and just very clearly not mentally well, very clearly actively, going through it. And people are just not being nice to him about it, making fun of him. Like, oh, it's just, I just like hate people who are like capitalizing on those kinds of things.
That's not cool. You know what?
No.
The older I get, the more I realize, no offense, people are just dicks.
Yeah,
At, at the end of
absolutely.
at the end of the day, humanity is just full of self-serving shit heads.
And I think it's hard for me to really stomach that a lot of times because of the fact that, like, you know, emotionally right now, I'm so small, I guess. Like, I'm processing and learning my emotions now, like, and I have been more than I ever have in my whole entire life in like the past 3, 4 years, um, if not longer. And so, like, things really, really make me upset like that. Like when I see stuff like that, man, it just really tears me up. And then I really don't expect people to be as mean as they are. And
Mm-hmm.
people are always way meaner than I even would ever realize that they would be.
Mm-hmm. It sucks. It just
That's
does.
why I'm sad that TikTok is getting banned officially because on like Facebook and Instagram, they have like similar things. They have like reels
Yeah.
and they're terrible. They're the worst sides of the earth that you could ever go to. Like the other day, I saw a man get his arm chopped off on reels.
Okay,
You would
but
never see something like that on TikTok. At least not me, because their algorithms are so much better.
um, isn't that your algorithm though? I mean, haven't you done something weird in the past to get you a reel of a guy getting his arm chopped off?
No, because Facebook and Instagram, well, Meta in general, they don't have as advanced of a reel as TikTok does. So where TikTok is like very, very specifically curated for everything that you like, everything that you share and stuff like that, Reels is not the same way. They don't work on that type of algorithm. Their algorithm is nonsensical, and I've been on I have been on social media for 10 years, if not longer. Actually, way longer than 10 years. But I've been working in the social media space for around 10 years, and I've never been able to make sense of it. I used to when it was like chronological, but now it just makes no sense. They'll show you stuff that you don't even relate to, and I'll click not interested, and I'll see 17 of the things that I clicked not interested on, primarily because I clicked not interested.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
no, literally.
That's below. Are you sure? Check this out. Okay. Here's some truth bomb for you. Uh, your thoughts, everything you think, not your words. You're saying obviously your sound, but your thoughts create electromagnetic waves, and that shit is real. It's just as real as a book. And so when we put things in our heads by watching them, we're doing the same thing, only backwards. That shit goes in and becomes part of your universe, part of your worldview. None of that stuff pops up on my feeds anywhere because I don't have feeds
Well, it
anymore.
doesn't pop up on my feed. It's like, so with Instagram, what they do is they have an explore page and it pops up on the explore page. I never really even scroll through reels on Facebook or Instagram because I'll scroll to my explore page where I'll look for like mental health stuff is primarily what I use the explore page for. And it's just all the out of this world nasty stuff. And that's why I never go on it, is because I don't want to see stuff like that.
Where would I have to see some? Oh, I'm serious. It's important what, just like I've told you, when people say, they're talking down about themselves, I may have said something to you like, hey, you can say that at home. Don't say that in front of me, please. You
Yeah,
know, um, because our words are important, and so are the things that we read and the things that we listen to and the things that we watch. Um,
exactly.
because all that goes back out, and it's real stuff. And knowing that people are, they're just not good. Especially, there's Cat Williams had it on the, he 2 years ago, he was like, just wait. And we're still seeing horrible shit. Um, so I try to limit all that going
No, me
in.
too. I do now. Like I really don't get on any of Meta's services very much at all because I just feel so negative about it. That's why I like TikTok, is because on TikTok it's primarily positive and all the stuff that I see in my feed is, stuff that I've curated, you know, just
And
positive mental health stuff. But then like I get on Facebook or Instagram and it's just like absolutely not.
it's weird. It's very weird what we don't know what we're doing to ourselves. Um,
Yeah.
but you know,
That's why
it,
I utilize my social media as if I was back in the 90s and I've been trying to. I don't actually do this, but this is what my goal, continuing through this year is to basically kind of take everything off of my phone, keep it on my computer, and just have dedicated social media time when I have it, and then it's not following me around all the time.
yeah, I get that. I like that. Yeah. Everything becomes a habit. So
And
live,
it's an addiction for me at this point, to be honest. I have to break.
and then she was gone, and then she was back.
Here I am.
So yeah, Facebook. I hate Facebook.
Same.
Do
But it's my
I?
job, so
I didn't have to look at it, but I was looking at it because I was looking specifically for videos that you and I did the
I
other
saw
day.
you liked one the other day.
I didn't mean to do that unless it was really funny. I did. Um, and I had to scroll through every goddamn video we have because they go in no order.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sort them by, what I wanted. It's ridiculous. Sucks. I mean, yes, they just got you locked in time wise. You're still there, on the page, even if you're not doing anything. Except
Hmm. Yeah,
not have.
I went in the back end of all my apps and like turned off a lot of things for like them tracking your data and all that kind of stuff. I turned all that stuff off. I don't want them in my business.
Really? I turn all that on. Allow full tracking. Track me anytime. Take pictures.
You said I'm an open book.
Nobody, you're gonna put it down. Promise. And be like, let's see. Oh my God.
Wait,
Let's go
wait,
back.
wait. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say let's go back to Ashley.
Okay.
So, do you want to talk about? Did you think about it after when you went home or anything? Because you texted me after that happened.
Yeah, I texted you and then I just had to put it away again because I was too busy.
Um,
And then I just still haven't thought about it till right now.
okay, good. It's a hurdle. It's something you had to cross. Just did.
Yeah, I think I've had too many of those types of situations.
You have.
Um, very, my life is very plentiful in the grief category.
It
So when
is.
I feel one, I feel them all, you know? It's one of those things.
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Did I tell you the the Linda story where
Yeah.
I had a Christ College nursing
Hmm.
um instructor. She knew Linda. She knew everything that we were doing online and all that stuff.
Really?
In the morning meetings and all that. Yeah, and she was talking about how much she loved Jeopardy and how good at it she was.
That's really cool. I was thinking about that. I think I have maybe 120 Jeopardy games that were an hour each, pretty much. And uh, with the exception of maybe 10% of the questions are like about me because it's me that made them. Um,
Right.
Anybody else could use them because they're really good. So I've thought about telling
You should share them with David. He has a gaming for mental health class
I
online.
did tell him about that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I tell people this all the time. Uh, we'll use anything to reach people. The only reason I did Jeopardy, it was a slog. It was. The only reason I did that was for Linda,
Yeah.
because she showed up for it
Hmm.
every time. It was important to her.
And it was
Um,
just so much fun, man. Especially when you get to create the questions and they're not super hard like Jeopardy is.
don't get me wrong, it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
So
But
fun.
that's the only reason why it happened. Um, I told, we had a board member come in to look around earlier
Oh
this.
yeah, that's right. That was really cool.
Yeah, Ashley. And
Yeah, her name is Ashley too. That was funny.
Goosebumps. Um, what was I telling you about?
I just got
Oh,
shivers.
Ashley came in. Oh, yeah. And we were talking about the classes we have, and I said, we have a pickleball class. And we made a pickleball court on our parking lot. And we do that now. I do that. And I told the program manager, the person that makes the schedule, every 10 weeks, just put it on. Don't even ask me until this person stops showing up. And then we're taking it off.
Yeah.
But we had a person that we tried to work with for over a year and a half, just wasn't getting anywhere. And then pickleball showed up on the schedule and she showed up with a paddle and that was her thing. And yay. So,
Exactly. And that's what it's all about.
yeah, exactly.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
had a go ahead.
go.
I was gonna say we had a question. Do we want to answer the question?
Yeah. What's the question?
You sent it to me. I have it up. Um, when you experience a spontaneous disruption in your schedule, like a blizzard, what's the healthiest way you cope?
I I was thinking about that.
Couldn't tell you because that whole being trapped inside thing that we just had really messed me up.
Really?
Oh yeah, it big time. I was not having a good time.
Well, I like that the question did not say what's a healthy way you cope. It was healthiest. So they could all be shitty, but one of them has to be the healthiest. Technically, it's going to take the long. This one will tell you the longest.
I think for me, the healthiest thing I did was take care of myself. Like I really took active efforts to fill myself or like my brain with all my happy things. Like I made hot chocolate and I watched Gilmore Girls and I stayed really warm and I watched the snow fall and like I just tried to be very mindful of the experience and not think about how I was trapped inside and I couldn't go anywhere or leave my house.
Well, that seems like a really healthy way to look at it.
I tried my best. It didn't work. It worked for maybe a day,
Okay. How
but
long? How long were you trapped?
a week.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of in a weird situation with my with my house where it's kind of like back really far and there's a steep hill to like get out anywhere. And so the steep hill was kind
Oh,
of limiting me from even leaving my neighborhood. So
wow.
yeah, it took them a while to get that figured out.
Are you out now?
Yes, thankfully.
Yay. I'm not good at disrupted plans at all. I fall apart. It doesn't mean like I throw a fit, fall apart, but yeah, my thought process does not go, to the okay, what do we do next? What's the best
Yeah.
time? Um, it could throw me off for a minute. And I don't realize that's happening when it's happening. What it looks like is I just get into something that's so fucking inane and a waste of time, or, you laugh. I could teach a graduate level class how to fuck off at any time of the day or
I'm gonna get you a plaque that says that says I have my doctorate in fucking off. Doctor fuck off.
best in the world.
Uh,
Like it's my
good.
job.
That's good.
Yeah. So I was trying to name an example when uh things went off the rail. Here's why it's important, though, I think, for me at least, because I don't have to, but it helps me to have something that I know I do consistently on every day of the week
Hmm.
so that there's something, I mean, there's a reason to wake up, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and if it's out of the house, which pretty much most of the days it is, that's better. And if I get to work, that's better. And I know that's better for me mentally, and I know it's better for me, in every way. Um, so when something gets was that a word, disrailed? Unrailed?
Derailed.
Derailed, thank you.
Yeah.
One of those little time blocks, it kind of creates a cascade, at least in here, of where everything can fall apart. So, like us, for example, we do this on Fridays, and some Fridays we don't. And on Fridays when I did not come to the office because we were going to Zoom, and then we ended up not Zooming for whatever reason. And so my day was literally nothing. I didn't do anything except, wait to do this and do the prep. I do about, I don't know, 10, 15 hours of prep work for each one of these that we do. Um, so I did all that. But then my whole day was I was shut inside and there wasn't any interaction because I got to have interaction with people most days.
Yeah.
People are pushing back on that, but we're negotiating. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm different. I could not talk to somebody for like, I don't, I mean, I think max probably 4 days is how long I could go without talking to a single person before I freak out.
I'm I didn't I didn't say it in a way that you would understand what I meant. Hang on. I have to have human interaction. It doesn't mean I have to talk to someone or text them. It may mean literally, and this is pretty not nice. It may mean getting a text from somebody.
Okay.
That's human interaction, right?
Okay.
So, not saying I have to talk to somebody because I don't. Um, but I'd say I don't know why that is. But yeah, most days I need to know that somebody's thinking about me or
You're
something.
just a social butterfly, Bill. That's all it boils
I
down to.
guess. Hey, this may be an opportunity. I got a text from Duke Energy and they say I may be eligible for disconnection. So I didn't know you had to be eligible for that. Look at me, y'all.
Oh my God.
So it's hard when my plans get messed up. And if it's something that I'm looking forward to, like this, then it puts me in a bad mood. And then whoever's up next, sorry, they got to put up with a little bit. But I'm not as bad about that as I used to be. You know what? It'd be nice to have when
Mm.
we do a rap class, which is wellness,
Recovery action plan.
yeah, wellness recovery action plan, so that You write stuff down while you're healthier, while you're feeling good about what you want to do and what helps you when you're feeling bad. So you don't have to think about it when you're in that bad place. You just pull out your book or your notebook or whatever it is and look. And so maybe that's something that would be uh, kind of worthwhile to just put a post-it note on the fridge that says, um, I don't know, go to the bookstore. Like what do they call it? A contingency plan if something gets jacked up.
Oh yeah, I
So
think that'd be a good idea.
I can go to my jacked up post note and say, oh, well, look, I could play Jeopardy.
This is
Or
what I have.
what is that?
This is my Pandora's box of resilience.
Pandora's box of Brazilians.
Of resilience.
Oh,
So whenever I'm having a panic attack or I'm really down bad, I have all of my like, can't see it. Wait, put it in front of my face. Tons of things that make me happy. Flash, help me calm down. So I have like sour candy in here. I have Halls. I have um what is this called? Essential oils. I have pictures of me and my friends.
oh,
And I have a whole list here, which I could add to this. I have a whole list of here of coping tactics that work for me.
good for you.
And then also like mantras to remember for myself. So that's what I do when whenever I'm freaking out. So maybe I'll take your idea, which I like a lot, and put in here whenever I need like a distraction or something I want to do, put some activities in there.
Yeah. Duct tape Evan to the wall. You could do that. You
Put the
could.
tail on Evan.
What was that one?
Pin the tail on Evan.
There you go. All kinds of fun. All kinds of fun to be had. Hey, that's a cool thing. Do you ever, when you're ever in a bad place, do you ever think I should look in that box and then go, no, I'm not going to? Here's why I ask. I feel like part of there are two of me, right? And I feel like the one of me that wants to fuck off all the time, uh, I'm sorry, I'll call him the president. I have to appease that part so that I can do the shit I need to do. But I think that I do things to punish myself too. So I think I could see myself being in a place where I was like, I know this will help me, but I would try not to let myself do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an ego thing, and it was an ego thing for me for a really long time. At least in my experience. I'm not saying that it's for you. But for me, it's like in my brain, I'm like, I don't need that. Like I can handle it kind of thing.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Um, and like, oh, I'm be like kind of like I'm better than that,
Yeah,
in a lot of ways. And I just had to continuously keep humbling myself because the more that like I went and like grabbed it and utilized the tools within it, every single time it helped.
that's probably 90% of why I don't have one. So I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cute craft. Go ahead, make that because it's going to help you guys. Well, you know what? You know what I found out last year? I'm one of you guys. I need every bit of that shit too. When I had to use what we have at work for myself, because fucking Ashley died, uh, it was good for me in that respect because that shit's real. I mean, when I tell people we give kids back to their parents, we give parents back to their kids, that's what we do. And those tools work for me too. So it is exactly my ego that has kept me from doing things like that. But I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of struggle that you hit where your ego is just kind of not really at play anymore. Like there was a certain time where, I thought I had it all together. I thought that I was really working hard in my recovery and that I was, kicking ass and taking names and And I was, there was a certain point where I like, felt really healthy and felt really good
Yeah.
until I didn't anymore, right?
Yep.
And then that'll humble you real quick, and then I realized that this is part of the process and that nobody is immune to struggle, especially not me. And nobody, and I guess in my perspective, I'm not going to say nobody because it's kind of a generalized statement, but in my perspective, recovery ebbs and it flows,
Yes.
especially with people who, with grief, with trauma, with interpersonal dynamics. It's going to ebb and flow because it's just the nature of being, of living, and that's okay. You just have to kind of adapt. And it's good that I created a tool system for myself to where I can adapt and to where if I need to adapt, I have that assistance. And there's no self-righteousness in suffering, is kind of what I like to tell people, what I like to tell myself. When I think about not wanting to take medication or not wanting to do the things that help me out because I, for some reason feel like I can do it without these things.
Hmm.
Um, there's no gold medal for suffering. You're only making your life a little harder than it needs to be.
There's no self-righteousness in suffering. Is that how you said it?
Yeah,
I like it. What's today? 17th?
yeah.
1/17/24. Uh, so
Because
you,
I had a friend who was like, yeah, I take, medication for my ADHD, but like I don't take all of it because like, you know, I just I just don't want to take all of it because like I don't feel like I need it, and I feel like the amount that I take is manageable for me and it doesn't help fully, but like it helps enough. And I told him I was like, you can let go of the shame that is attached to the needing assistance, right? Like we're not gonna get gold medals for suffering through this. Like we're not gonna get a gold medal for not taking the medication. The medication is going to help us move forward. Or
okay,
maybe you take it and it doesn't, that's a something that you just need to figure out for yourself.
good on you for getting us where you wanted to get us to with 4 minutes to go. Seriously. And you know what? You said something I disagree with from my experience. You said something happened to you and it humbled you. You'd be amazed at what I've done and what I've been through that has not humbled me. Seriously. I'm not espousing any religion, anything. I'm just going to give you a quote from the Bible, and it says, "Humble yourself." Just those
Humble
two
thyself.
words. Yeah, right. Depending on how old you're. If it's your Mima's Bible, it says, "Humble thyself." And that's totally different than letting life humble you by bringing you down. Because that's a conscious thing. That's a decision that I make to put myself at the end of the line. You know what I mean? And so that to me is one thing I'm working on.
Hmm.
Um, I think that exactly like you said, and in my head, I'm picturing facilitating a class and saying, "Aren't these wonderful tools you can use?" And then never using them, and then say, and then telling people at work, "What, hey, you know what? I go through it just like you do. Well, then why don't I treat it just like I tell you to, or I say this has worked, may work." So, and I'm glad you brought it up because the shame that I had about those things or the stigma, I've told you've heard me say this a lot. I never felt stigmatized because of my mental illness, but I'm doing it to myself.
Mm,
That's and that blew my mind a minute ago when I realized that that shame, that stigma that I'm putting on myself. No one else is doing that to me. I'm alone by myself. You know what I mean? No one's sitting there watching me take my meds or not,
mm,
or whatever the situation is. That's interesting. And we talk about we talk all the time about giving ourselves grace, the grace we give other people. Um,
hmm.
it's hard stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I say that all the time in the boundaries class that I facilitate. I tell them, look, I'm here because I also need to be here. Like, we're learning this all together. We're doing this workbook together. Like, I can give you all these tools that I've learned through all these trainings that I've ever taken, But like I'm gonna be honest with you here in this moment, it's not always the easiest thing to implement in the world, right? Sometimes we're gonna stumble and we're gonna fall and we're gonna mess up and wires are gonna get crossed, and that's just part of being a human being. It's just about practicing until you feel comfortable with yourself.
And if you're going to practice, it means you have some steps that you take over and over. That's how you practice. So, and that's a process. And if your process is the right one, then I 100% agree with you. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Work that process.
But you're
Whatever.
right. The process may not always be the healthiest or the best. So you got to figure out what works well for you.
Well, you do. And you know what? Just like we started out with the question, it's not healthy with a Y, it's healthiest. So I'm going to do some things that are not good for me, but can I mitigate, the damage it does? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Go. Is it 4:05?
It's 4:15. We're
Oh,
at
yay.
time.
Oh, shit, I'm 2 minutes late. I gotta go.
All right, Bill, that was a good one today.
It was. It was
I
good.
I feel confident about the things that we've accomplished for everybody.
You're all welcome.
And for ourselves. All right,
Hey,
everybody.
have a great weekend.
You too, Bill.
All right.